Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever the case may be. Welcome to Cross Examinations Live. I'm your host, Mike S. Miller. Today we are on day what? Day what? What day? What day are we on? Restream. Oh, Lady Celtic Moon is here. Day 4. I think this is day 4. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Day 4. John's good news. The daily devotional that we are going through. Weekday, day 1. I got some notes in here. I was listening to some Chuck Missler stuff. Very, very interesting stuff. Day 3. We did day 3. And chapter 2 summary. Alright, we'll start there. We'll start there after I get to you guys. Which means I have to open up the window. And find out what y'all are saying. YouTube. Hello. Somebody delete my Twitter account for me, please. Oh no, Geeks and Gamers is live right now. Sorry. I'm really gonna step on his toes. All 4 people watching now got notified on DLive. Hey, look at that. My DLive's notifications are going out. How lovely is that? Is this, it says live, play, mute. It says I'm on. Turn on chat relay. Turn on chat relay. What does that mean? Chat room setting. Display settings. Hide. Require email. Disable links. Turn on. Slow mode. No. I don't know what that means. Anyways, I am on live, but on DLive, but for some reason it seems to be stuck. Oh, no, there it goes. Hey, look at me. I'm live on DLive. Nice. Very nice. And let's see. John's good news. 7 people watching on Cross Examinations on YouTube. So, Restream is working. Yeah, boy. All right. Anyways. Sorry. Welcome, one and all. Lady Celtic Moon, X-Gal, Josh Graydon, Nick Sonata. Only 8 people. 3 minutes of streaming, only 8 people. Our notifications here are going out. Did anyone get YouTube notifications? Because it seems like, this is not ideal. 9 people watching now. Let me hit that like and share, and I hope you all do as well. Because that's the only way we get people in here, you know. The only way to get people in here for our study, our Bible study. It's funny, I was thinking, gosh, you know, if I just started doing these every day at 10 o'clock in the morning, then I could probably get more people to just come in on the regular. But no. People still want notifications for Drawn and Quartered, which is every flipping Wednesday at the same time every week for a year now. Yeah, we did it on Tuesday for like the first month. Ever since then, it's been on Wednesday, every Wednesday, 7 o'clock, and people are like, I didn't get my notification. Do you have to get your notification to know that Happy Days is on at 8 o'clock on Tuesday night? I'm sorry, I'm going back to my childhood. And then Laverne and Shirley was on after that. Did you really need notifications for that? And then MASH, I believe, was on after Laverne and Shirley. My childhood was filled with television. Sorry. There was a terrible show on YouTube. Oh, not YouTube. On HBO when I was younger called Dream On. And he was always flashing back to stuff like that, and I'm like, but anyways, Mars, more like yes-ification. Hey. What's up, Mars? Nick? No, nobody's getting notifications. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, YouTube. You steaming pile of dung. It is perhaps possible because I put Chick-fil-A in the description. I think there's certain words that YouTube really hates. I didn't realize Chick-fil-A would be one of them. Alright, so today, again, John's Good News Day 4, and more winning. And just so you know, the winning does have to do with Chick-fil-A. So please do hit that share button. Get this out there to your friends, family, strangers on the street. Let them know that we are going to go into this Bible study. But before we do, let's get to yesterday's cross-examinations and see if anybody left any comments. Questions. Comments or questions. Could have been both. Could have been either. Let's see. You did Drawn and Quarter, did Princess Bride, and John's Good News Day 3. To it, I scroll down. 0 comments. All right. Well, that doesn't do us any good. Gosh, do I want to start the Bible study this early with only 16 people here? Or should we... Why don't you guys... Hey, if you guys have any questions, let's fill up about... 6 minutes. Let's fill up about 10 minutes of Q&A. And then we'll get... Hopefully we'll have... I'd like to do this if we have 40, 50 people watching. And then we can get into the nitty and the gritty and the John chapter 2. Actually, I can read this. No. I'll wait. I'll wait for people to get here. This is important stuff. This is spiritual and godly and important stuff. And I do want to wait for more people to be here. Should have done Popeye's chicken sandwich or KFC donut heart stopper. I wasn't going for clickbait. I was not going for the clickbait. Let's go see who's over. Yeah, celebrate with fans on stream. How do I celebrate with fans on stream? What is this? Oh, Lady Celtic Moon followed. Thank you, Lady Celtic Moon. Awesome. On the old XELive. I believe I have 202 followers now on XELive, which makes me, I forget what it's called, an affiliate or something. I can't remember what it's called. But it means I get to do something. It's been so long since I was live on XELive. I don't remember what that lets me do, but it lets me do something special. So maybe I can share XELive out to people and it makes them happy. I don't know. But anyways, I am on XELive right now. I'm going to go ahead and drop my link in the chat here. So if you guys want to go join me on XELive, go ahead and click that link and get more At least XELive gives your notifications, you know. Is Friday night auction still on? It is. It is. I have no reason to think it's not. Next week it will not be because I will be at my 30-year high school reunion next week on Friday night up in San Jose. But yeah. Let's see. Hello, Custom Elvis. Thank you for coming on in. Hello, Comic Collection Agency. Mars says Doug's stream titles have gotten insane. Well, Doug is trying to clickbait everybody, so you know what? It's a wise business practice. But this is cross-examinations. It just seems a little silly to clickbait a Bible study. Doug's titles are funny. He's poking fun at haters. What's up, Mars? Collect your lemons. Collect your lemons. No new symbol yet for 3 months. Yes, there is, Lady Celtic Moon. Yes, there is. It's up there and awaiting. So if someone crosses that 3-month threshold, you'll have a cute little American flag for a symbol. JJJ, clickbait titles are hilarious. Hello, Vlad Riot. Welcome to the potty, pal. 2 people still watching on XELive. I imagine one of those is me. But if you want to watch on XELive on your phone and then just donate those lemons to me, feel free. Nobody's stopping you. Pop out chat. I'm also on Twitch, but I honestly don't think anybody ever watches me on Twitch. Maybe I should check it out. Let me go see. Twitch.tv. Underdog Mike. Hey, it says I'm live. Is there anyone watching live? 0. Yeah. It's under the category of Minecraft. No. That's not correct. All right. Didn't get notification. Michael D. Fresh. 30. We are close enough. We're at 27 comic collection agency. 27. I don't see 30. Mike's titles need to be more clickbait. You know, it's bad enough I try to keep words like Bible and Christ and Christian out of the titles and out of the descriptions in order that I don't get throttled by YouTube. And then I stick Chick-fil-A in there and nobody gets their notifications. Twitch is for Bob streamers? Oh. Bob. Right. I was at 1 month and 30 days, but now back to 1 month. Strange. I don't know what to tell you. You have a star, lady. That is 2 months. Yeah, the stars are 2 months. The eagle is 1 month, and the American flag is month 3. So, looking forward to seeing somebody tilt that over. Evening, Vlad Riot. Nick Sonata, thoughts on the possibility of a 3rd temple being built? Well, I know they are ready. They have already, at this point, probably built all of the utensils for the sacrifices. They've got the plans laid out. All they kind of need is the mount, the temple mount. And I heard there was some speculation that that the actual location of the temple might be misconstrued, and that it's possible that the Dome of the Rock is actually, if I remember correctly, in the courtyard of the Gentiles. So they could, again, if I remember correctly, they could actually build the temple with the mosque in the courtyard of the Gentiles, which would kind of be appropriate, but the temple itself would be in a slightly different location. I mean, you know, it's like a big rectangular thing. You had one half of it was the temple, one half of it was the courtyard of the Gentiles. And where would the Dome of the Rock belong? You wouldn't have to nuke the Dome of the Rock, which I don't care if you did, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I mean, they could, and it does need to be built. It does need to be built in order for prophecy, for the... It's like the next thing that has to happen before Christ returns, because when Christ returns, he is in the Dome of the Rock. Not the Dome of the Rock, sorry. The temple. He reigns from the temple. And the abomination of desolations has to occur before that happens, which means the temple has to be built and someone has to defile it. If they left the mosque there, would the abomination of desolation be if they left the mosque there? Well, that would not be in the actual temple. It would be if it's in the courtyard of the Gentiles. I don't know. Maybe. I really don't know. Mike McCollum says, hey, if the Jews do build the 3rd temple, are they going to bring out the lost covenant? Oh, the ark. I believe if they built the temple, that would probably happen. But, you know, I have no absolute knowledge of that particular prophecy, but I would think it would have to. All right. What's up, Jim Cruddy? We just got to wait and see. You know what? I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick. You guys, it's silent prayer time. Everyone bow your heads for a couple minutes. Amen. All right. All right, 33 people watching now. We can get into this Bible study. John chapter 2 summary written by A.J. Hoffman. Mike is in front of chair. Move over, Mike. Oh, sorry. Was the mic blocking chair? Chair stream. My thoughts is that the mount is where the Fort Antioch was and that the temple was wiped out. Yeah, again, I don't remember all the specifics. Oh, you like the Trump shirt? Muerte got me this shirt. Muerte. So thank you, Muerte, and Mr. Dead in his pocket. Mr. Dead in his pocket. Is that a Mark Dice shirt? It is. I got a whole bag of them. I haven't even worn a couple of them yet because I keep forgetting they're in here. When I go get dressed, I'm always pulling stuff out of my drawer. Anyways, John chapter 2 summary. Hello, Peter Mike. Jesus begins his ministry by turning water into wine at a wedding. A short time later, Jesus goes to Jerusalem for the Passover. I was listening to Chuck Missler last night, and he was mentioning how it's funny that I think John is the only place where they mention the water into wine miracle. There's only 7 miracles in all of the book of John. 7. And one of them is this little, nearly flippant miracle of turning water into wine. It's just strange. I can't, it's this transformative miracle where he's, they planned poorly and they ran out of wine and he turned water into wine. It's just the weirdest thing that of all the miracles. And then John goes on later in the gospel to say, if I were to write down all the miracles Jesus did, there wouldn't be enough books in all of the world to fill them. And yet, he only mentions 7. And the first one he mentions is Comic Collection Days. The first miracle, gotta keep the party going. It's a celebration of a wedding, and he provides the wine. There's got to be a greater symbolism to the fact that this was his first public miracle, right? Doesn't Missler talk about how that had to bend time and space? Very interesting. I don't remember him talking about that for this particular miracle. However, if you think in terms of classical storytelling, where you begin a story, it's called the opening image of a story. So his ministry, the opening image of his ministry, according to John, is a wedding. And then at the end of the story, and you'll notice this with almost every movie you watch, the end of the story, the last scene is called the closing image, and it mirrors the opening image. So you have a movie, it starts out, a guy standing at a gravestone, right? Talking to his long lost father, whatever it is, or, long dead father, whatever. And then the end of the story, his son is standing at a gravestone talking to him. Stuff like that. A mirror image. Sunrise at the beginning, sunset at the end. Well, if this is the case, if God is using classical storytelling, he's opening his ministry up with a wedding. And he closes his ministry up at the wedding of the Lamb. That just dawned on me. I mean, why else would he even mention this? God is a great storyteller, I tell you what. Man, he could teach me a thing or two. Good stuff. A short time later, Jesus goes to Jerusalem for the Passover. When he finds a market set up in the temples, he runs the merchants out with a whip. Now, keep in mind, he doesn't just, happen to have a whip or happen to find a whip. Josh Graydon said, just blew my mind, Mike. Yeah, I got some chills talking about that, so I think maybe the Holy Spirit was helping me out there. He took the time to actually make this whip before he went to the temple. And now, and I was talking about this at the church, and someone was like, oh yeah, he was whipping the people. I'm like, well, I don't know if he whipped the people, but there was livestock there, right? Oh, made clean through the blood, wine. Oh my gosh, there's so much more symbolism in this. You're made clean through the blood. The blood is the wine. The symbolism of the blood is the wine. That is the covenant. He is the water of which, if you drink of this water, you shall never thirst again. Oh my gosh, there's so much more to unwrap in that first. Darn it, we already passed that chapter. Come on. Oh wait, no, is this it? Chapter 2. Wait, was that it? No. Oh, chapter 2 is Cana. Oh, good. You know what? I should probably be reading this. Hold on a second. These two stories could not be more different. One involved Jesus being the ultimate wedding coordinator and saving the day. In the other story, he is driving people out of the temple with a whip for how they were treating God's temple. That's the summary. Josh Graydon says, ah! All right, we're going to read John chapter 2, 1 through 12. Excuse me for a moment. John chapter 2, 1 through 12. If I can get this thing to open. He had mad carpentry skill, so making a whip would have come easy. Yeah, it's just braiding, man. It's braiding cords. And it wasn't just a whip, it was a scourge. He legit made a scourge. Again, mirroring the image of him being scourged. So much. Earth is flat. Seriously flat for $2 says learn about the book of Enoch, chapter 72. Earth is... ? Well, we're not going into Enoch now. Enoch is apocryphal. It's a great book. I really do enjoy it, but not right now. Alright, John chapter 2, verses 1 through 12. Let me open it up here. Wait. Let's see, first I need to move this over here. And then I need to... boop. There it is. Let's go here. John chapter 2, verses 1 through 12. And the third day there was a marriage in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. Sorry, I just got a really funny image. like an old Jewish woman. Come on, Jesus, you've got to go to the wedding with me. Oh, Mom. No. And both Jesus was called and his disciples to the marriage. And when they wanted wine, the mother of Jesus saith unto him, They have no wine. Hey, Jesus, they have no wine. What are you going to do about it? Jesus saith unto her, Woman, I love that. Woman, what have I to do with thee? Mine hour is not yet come. His mother saith unto the servants, Whatsoever he saith to you, do it. Do it. And there were set there 6 water pots of stone, after the manner of the purifying of the Jews, containing 2 or 3 firkins apiece, which I think is like something akin to 2 gallons for a firkin. I could be wrong. Someone look that up for me real quick. Jesus saith unto them, Fill the water pots with water. And they filled them up to the brim. And he saith unto them, Draw out now, and bear unto the governor of the feast. And they bare it. When the ruler of the feast had tasted the water that was made wine, and it knew not whence it was, but the servants which drew the water knew, the governor of the feast called the bridegroom, and saith unto him, Every man that at the beginning doth set forth good wine, and when men have well drunk, then that which is worse. But thou hast kept good wine until now. This beginning of miracles did Jesus in Cana of Galilee, and manifested forth his glory, and his disciples believed on him. After this he went down to Capernaum, he and his mother, and his brethren, and his disciples, and they continued there not many days. You know what? For some bizarre reason, I just really want to look up the word Cana. Blue Letter Bible. Uh, 10 gallons. Holy crap, that is a lot of wine. That's a lot of wine.
How much were they drinking?
They was drinking a lot of wine. That's all I'm saying. John, Book of John.
Wasn't the wine
John.
not as high, like,
Not as high in. Yeah. Okay. So my son is asking, wasn't the wine not as high in proof? Here's the situation. Let me get to the Cana thing first, because I want to see what Cana means. Cana. Of Hebrew origin. This word. Place of reeds. The place of reeds. Alright, I don't want to make too much of that. But where was Moses placed?
that's exactly what I thought.
In the reeds. Interesting. I don't know why, I just felt like I was supposed to look that up. Why the wine? Why the wine was, what was the wine? Alright, so in ancient times, up until about the 6th century, before monks actually started refining wine to what we know today as Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, and all that fun stuff. You would be drinking well water, you'd be drinking river water. Either you're drinking river water, which is not necessarily pure water, or you're drinking well water. Not a lot of people had fresh springs in their neighborhoods. So you would be drinking what is essentially stagnant water in a lot of circumstances. Alcohol kills the germs in your wine. The Bible says take a little water with your wine if your stomach feels bad. But the deal is, what wine was then, it was like they would take the grapes and they would squish them into grape juice, right? But it would ferment very quickly, and it would be almost like a sludge. It would include the skins, kind of like they make grappa out of the skins of the wine. Now, it was all kind of the same thing. I researched this because I was curious. And so it's sort of the sludge. And what they would do is they would mix it because it was so rich and honestly not that great, that they would mix it with water. Different parts of the country, different religions would have different, like I believe the Jews said it's like 1 part wine to 10 parts water. The Greeks said it was like 1 part wine to 4 parts water. There were just different places, and they had different like concoctions with the wine and the water. So whereas, I mean, and obviously you would have situations where you have some people have better wine and some people have worse wine. And obviously Jesus made the best wine ever. So maybe that's what the monks were trying to duplicate when they decided to start refining the process into what we see today. But yeah, everybody basically, you would either drink milk or you would drink, if you drank water, you would mix it with wine to kill the bacteria and whatnot. And obviously the more wine you put in your water, the stronger your water is. I mean, it's like today with straight alcohol, right? Nobody drinks straight alcohol. That's like moonshine. I guess some people do drink it, but most alcohols are like 5% alcohol, 95% water, and other stuff. 10% alcohol. Oh wait, 95. 10%, 90. You know, and then you call that 20 proof, 30 proof, whatever it is. It's a very small percentage alcohol to essentially water. It was the same thing back then. So some weirdos still drink Everclear. Yeah, that's the stuff you clean the paint off your brushes with, I think. But at any rate, that's what that was. That is the chapter we're reading. Let me read through here, and then we'll talk about it. The wedding at Cana. Do you ever feel like you are waiting on God? Do you feel as though you have been patient forever and just don't know when He will come through? Maybe God is waiting on you. John 2 tells of a wedding fiasco in Cana. As Jesus and His disciples attended the wedding, Mary realizes that all of the wine used to serve the wedding guests is gone. They were powering through some wine, apparently. Wine was an important part of weddings at the time. So this was a big deal. When Mary saw Jesus, she walked up to Him and told Him about the problem. Jesus had the power to wave a hand and flood the wedding with wine, but did He? No. Instead, Jesus gave the servants an opportunity to participate in a miracle. Jesus said to His servants, "Fill the jars with water." So they filled them to the brim. Then He told them, "Now draw some water out and take it to the master of the banquet." So they did. And the master of the banquet tasted the water that had been turned into wine. Because of the faithful obedience of the servants, an entire group of people were blessed with a miracle. Imagine if the servants hadn't taken the step of obedience. Jesus doesn't just want to perform miracles in your life. He wants you to be a part of that. Okay, so this is taking the attitude of the practical application. And this is what you do want to do whenever you're reading scripture. You don't want to just read it and try to get some nugget or meaning out of it. You want to take those nuggets and those meanings, and you want to find a practical application for what the scripture is teaching and how to best utilize that knowledge, motivation, information in your life to the practical application of becoming a better person and a better Christian. So the questions here are you giving your best? What would it look like for you to fill your water jars to the brim? Maybe not my best. I could try a little harder. I do tend to get a little petty and occasionally vindictive. I was just praying before this, Lord, vengeance is yours. Don't let me focus on winning. Let me focus on you. I am a failure. But I will try. Second question. What is an area of your life that you feel you might be holding out on God and giving less than 100%? I just covered that. Stop asking me the same question. Daily prayer. But maybe you guys could focus on that question too. Zeno says, it's okay to admit you're human, Mike. At least you can admit it. Jalapeno Mike, dude, relax about geeks and gamers. They're just people, man. And some of them are Christians. So, Odin and Josiah, they're both Christians. So maybe the Christians will take over geeks and gamers. Ha ha. Unrelated comma, fill your water jug to the brim. Follow me on Twitter so I can DM you. Unrelated comma, I told you to at me on Twitter and just say, hey, it's unrelated comma from YouTube. Give me a follow and I'll give you a follow. All right? Actually, wait a minute. That's not really fair, is it? Because that's one of the things that I do for the members. I'll make an exception. You did? Jeez. You know what? Maybe it's because I've got too much Twitter crap going on right now. Just do it again until I do follow you. Don't worry about it. Odin blocked me after attacking me. Praying for you, Mike Son. What was your attack? Or what were you saying that Odin attacked you? I'm sure he didn't just pick you out of a crowd and say, that guy! All right, daily prayer. Focus. Peace. Calm. Lord, show me what it means to be giving my very best. I want to be someone who honors you with my life. I don't want to waste any opportunity you have for me. Open my eyes to the areas where I can serve you and give me a servant's heart. Amen. Man, that was practically the prayer I prayed without even reading that earlier today. God's got a little angel on my shoulder, if you know what I'm saying. Alrighty. Let me turn this. I don't know. We can keep talking about this for a minute, and then we can get to the topic of the day. Zeno says, I have found Jeremy to be more tolerable when on a stream with Mike. That's the thing. Jeremy is very respectful. I don't know if he's respectful around Odin and Josiah, but he legit churches it up when I'm on. Like, he doesn't want to offend me, and I think that's very respectful, and I appreciate it, but I'm like, dude, it's your house, it's your house. I'm coming into your house. But he does. He churches it. It's funny. What is it about me? When I go on with Cecil and Kelsey and Malin and Jeremy, all these guys church it up. And they say they church it up. Time to church it up. Mike's here. I don't... It's... What am I? That's a good question. What am I to them? Baron on the Mount says it's respect. Oh. You're just a nice guy. Genuine. I like that prayer a lot. Yeah, it's good prayer. It's good prayer. You have created content for years. Jeremy has never been as creative, so he must respect you. I hear Anna is going to do some cards. Did she say so? Because I asked her to, but she did not respond to me on Twitter. Let me go check. I don't want to dive into Twitter while I'm here, but let me see. I've not gotten anything from Anna Banana. Oh, she changed her logo, so it's hard. I don't look at names. I just kind of skim through and looking at the pictures, but I don't see her. Oh, that's Star Wars Girl. Did she say something? Did she say something and I just don't know? The light shines, Mike. But I think it's good. I was just thinking that. Because I have another friend who would go on to a show with other very, very not. I'm not going to name any names. This is just an example. People who are very not Christian, and he's a believer, but they don't change at all. And I've had other friends who would go on, and it would be the converse, where they would change to sort of adapt to the room. And I don't go to people's houses and tell them to change their behavior. But it did dawn on me. It's like, hey, if Jesus walked into somebody's house, I'm not comparing myself to Jesus. Don't. Not. Because, the argument is always, Jesus hung out with tax collectors and whores and blah, blah, blah. But I'm always thinking, like, if Jesus walked into their house, do you think they would all be, like, having sex in the corner and shouting blasphemies at each other? Or do you think they'd be like, hey, tidy up the couch? You know what I mean?
It's like having someone you know with strong authority coming over.
My son says it's like you have someone... What did you say?
Authority coming over, so you want to...
Oh, he said it's authority.
Not just that, but like respect too.
Respect, authority. Respect my authority. Like Jesus told the prostitute to go and sin no more. Yeah, but that was in a particular instance. I'm pretty sure he didn't walk into the tax collectors and the the prostitutes as they were dining and just start pointing at them all and be like, sinner, sinner, sinner. That's not how Jesus rolled. He walked in, and it was by the power of his authority. They knew he spoke with authority, not like the scribes and the Pharisees. That they, at least in front of them, cleaned up their act. The prostitute was living wrong. Jeremy is living wrong. What's the difference? Who's living right, Jalapeno Milk? Who is living right? Who am I allowed to spend time with because they are perfect? I think your standards... You must have just some particular thing against Jeremy. Did he, piss in your Cheerios or something? Because I didn't hear you say all this stuff about Ethan for the past year when I've been on his channel. And how is he any better? I mean, I'm not saying better or worse, but please. Where has this condemnation been? Why aren't you condemning Malin and Cecil and Kelsey and all the other non-believers that I hang out with on the regular and I invite on my channel and I go on their shows? Why are you singling out Jeremy for your condemnation? I don't understand. It's like you have a personal animosity towards this one person who's not a believer. I don't get it. I really don't. Yeah, we're not going here today. I don't want to go here today. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. So let's go to winners. We are winning. We have 2 days of winning in a row. Chick-fil-A's sales have doubled since LGBT boycott began in 2012. Chick-fil-A's annual sales have more than doubled since LGBT and liberal groups began calling for a boycott of the restaurant in 2012, according to a new analysis. In 2012, when controversy arose over the CEO's comments about same-sex marriage, sales totaled $4.6 billion, up from $4.1 billion the year before. In 2018, sales totaled $10.46 billion, making it the third largest restaurant in the United States behind McDonald's and Starbucks. Thank you, Rainbow Coalition. You're doing a hell of a job promoting the people that you hate.
Okay, so for me it seems like this thing. Whenever, I don't know if it has any credit to it, but like, whenever like the LGBT like kind of left-wing community tries to boycott something, it goes up in sales like massively.
Yeah,
And then
it is.
whenever like the red side tries to boycott something, then they actually start kind of changing.
Absolutely. When the LGBT community, when the Rainbow Coalition does, and in that fact, I do mean both the Rainbow Coalition and the Rainbow Coalition. They attack. It only ever helps anybody. So come at me, bros. In 2018, sales totaled, behind Starbucks. The boycott may have driven a few customers away, although it apparently attracted far more. The chain also has opened nearly 700 new restaurants since the boycott began, according to the Journal and Courier newspaper, which reported the data in a September 17th story and examined the effectiveness of the boycott. The only ones who seem to have any kind of beef with the wildly popular chicken restaurant are the minivan-sized group of squeaky extremists on the far left. Glenn T. Stanton, director of Global Family Formation Studies at Focus on the Family and the author of Myth of the Dying Church, told Christian Headlines. They've concluded that Chick-fil-A is bigoted without the slightest bit of evidence, only that their founders believe in natural marriage. Their position sits very well with the rest of us. The LGBT issue blog Towerload Tolerode? Tolerode? Whatever. In 2011, criticized Chick-fil-A's ties to Christian and conservative organizations that opposed the legalization of same-sex marriage. The headline read, "If you're eating Chick-fil-A, you're eating anti-gay." The Journal and Courier reported the blog received moderate Chick-fil-A attention, moderate media attention that year, but the issue received far more attention in 2012 when Chick-fil-A CEO Dan Cathy was asked about the company's support for the traditional family and replied, "Well, guilty as charged. Guilty as charged. Guilty as charged. As am I. Guilty as charged." What is absolutely ridiculous, as is pointed out here, is when people think that because you have, and the funny thing is, the majority of Americans, even though they are not Bible-believing Christians, believe in traditional marriage. It's just a fact. So anyone who is so bigoted as to think that simply being against redefining marriage is a homophobe or evil, those people are the bigots, right? Those people are the closed-minded SJW, crybaby, bigot, bullies who try to have their way with the world. It's so stupid. I mean, okay, from a religious perspective, and that's the thing. I don't like this being, because, all these different religions, well, every religion in the world, man, woman, marriage, right? Some it might be polygamy. I understand that. There's actually nothing against polygamy in the Bible, but that's not a topic for a different time. It has ended badly for some people in the Bible. But man, woman, that is marriage as defined by the human race. Since the human race began, first marriage was Adam and Eve. But even if you don't believe that, that is what it has always been. I am not against gay rights as far as equal rights of government-based rights. If a right is granted you by the government, then it should be equal across the board to everyone. Now, I also don't believe the government should have one flippin' thing to do with the holy sacrament of marriage. That is a church-state crossover issue that should not exist. I am very libertarian on this perspective. Marriage belongs to the church, whatever church you belong to, or if you don't belong to church or anything. If the government requires that people entering into a lifelong legal binding need to register that with the government, make them all civil unions, make them all domestic partnerships, whatever your wordage you want to use, that is the government's role. A contract between two people binding them legally, that is the government's role. Defining marriage is not the government's role. Although, even the simple fact of the matter is, every place this went up for a vote, including the most liberal states in the Union, it always was the majority of the people. Marriage is a man and a woman. So that's where it is. If you still, after knowing all that and understanding all that, think that anyone who is against redefining marriage is a homophobe and full of hate and whatever, then I'm sorry, but you're just wrong. I'm not going to call you an idiot. I'm just going to say, open your mind and stop being such a bigot. We are very much supportive of the family, the biblical definition of the family unit. He told the biblical recorder, we are a family-owned business, a family-led business. We are married to our first wives. We give God thanks for that. Kathy's comments led to calls for boycotts and pledges. Can you imagine? We're pro-family. Boycott them! By mayors in Boston and Chicago to oppose new restaurants opening in their cities. That in turn led Mike Huckabee to launch a Chick-fil-A Appreciation Day on August 1st, 2012. Hundreds of thousands of customers took part, and the chain broke sales records for a single day. Since 2012, its sales have set a record each succeeding year, growing from 4.6 million in 2012 to 5 million, to 5.7 million, to 6.7 million, to 7.9 million, to 9 million. In 2017, according to Restaurant Business, it reached 10.46 million in sales in 2018. Chick-fil-A was named America's favorite fast food restaurant in a survey of customers this year. Still, it continues to face opposition. Officials in San Antonio and Buffalo blocked Chick-fil-A from opening restaurants in their local airports. A segment of the faculty and students at Purdue University and the University of Kansas vocally oppose it too. Northwestern University management professors Braden King said the success of a boycott can't be judged solely by economics. I think the activists would say the boycott against Chick-fil-A is successful. In what world? In what world? Even if they didn't get people who typically go to Chick-fil-A to stop buying Chick-fil-A sandwiches. No, you just doubled their sales, genius. He told the podcast Freakonomics. The reason they would say it was successful is because they got the media to pay attention and twice as many people to go to Chick-fil-A. Success in their world is a very strange. Stanton said Chick-fil-A will remain popular with the public. Not only have they doubled their sales in the last few years, but they have won the prize for fast food establishment with the highest customer service rating the last 4 years running. He said, bigoted businesses do not tend to rate well in customer satisfaction. Chick-fil-A has won this vaulted spot because it's their pleasure to serve everyone who comes through their doors and do so with all graciousness. So, boy, that is just the funniest bloody article I've read in a minute. And God bless Chick-fil-A. Thank you guys for sticking to your guns, sticking to your faith, sticking to your ideology, your ideals, your principles. Principles first, ladies and gentlemen. Principles before party, principles before team, principles before tag. Principles before hashtag. Principles first. Live your life that way and you will never regret it. Let's see what's up in the chat. There is a sketch therapy. We haven't seen a sketch therapy in a long time. What's going on, sketch? Have you come as friend or enemy? Matt C. says, I heard marriage contracts were invented by Democrats to help police and prohibit interracial marriages. Might not be true, but worth looking into. Sounds like something the Democrats would do. Yeah, marriage is defined by a man and a woman. Gays and lesbians need to make up their own title. In my state, at least, we had, what was it called? Domestic partner, but it was a legally binding thing. No, it wasn't domestic partners. I forgot what it was called. I just said it earlier, but now I'm drawing a blank. But again, I'm totally fine with me and my wife having, if it's under the law, for that to be equal under the law, for us to have to require a domestic whatever contract with the government. But our marriage is not defined by the state, and it's not defined by Washington, D.C. Our marriage is our union under God, period. So, sorry, I'm very staunch on this. I really do not believe that government has any role in marriage. Jalapeno says, sorry if I'm coming off as sketch therapy levels of crazy. I just worry for you joining that egomaniacs network. Jalapeno, you saying sketch therapy brought sketch therapy into the chat. How did you manage that? I do appreciate it, but I honestly don't understand why you're singling out Jeremy. I really don't. It's not like I haven't been side by side with an egomaniac for the past year. No such thing as bad publicity. I know. It's so great. Glad to hear. Principles before money. Amen, Peter Mike. A freaking men. There was some guy, I don't know if you saw it on Twitter, some guy from War Campaign last night tweeted something at me. He had like pictures of piles of $100 bills in wrapped in papers, like spread out on his bed, and then a picture of him holding up the money. He's like, War Campaign supported you and saved your house. War Campaign could buy and sell you and buy you again. And I'm like, blocked. You guys freaking don't know me at all. Civil union. Yes, thank you. That's what it was called, civil union. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with if that's what I had to do, is just go sign a contract to be a civil union so that my marriage, my contract with my wife is a legally binding thing, and that's a civil union. Fine. Get the government out of my marriage. You have no right to say anything between me, my wife, and God. Victor says, man, stop that crap with Ethan already. You should see how he talks about you. You never say evil Mike, bad Mike, nothing. Mike is very heterosexual. I mean, look at how he draws Power Girl. Come on. I'm sorry. Wait. All I said was he was an egomaniac, Victor. Are you kidding me? Are you under the impression that anyone on planet Earth doesn't agree with that? If two vegetables got married, would that be considered a civil union? I'm so glad this is almost over. Did Sketch just do a hit and run, or did he say anything? Dark Admiral says, this is the problem with progressives in a nutshell. They don't like not getting their way, so they try to take the ball and go home. Meh. Wartooth says, the Chick-fil-A in Buffalo Airport may have been blocked, but one opened next town over, and there is always a line out the door. You know what I don't like about Chick-fil-A is all they use is white meat. I like dark meat chicken. I like my chicken grazy and dripping. I know, it's terrible. Common law marriage, civil union. It's all Marxism, says Zeno the Stoic. One of the goals was the destruction of the family. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Absolutely. Victor says the only reason that marriages have benefits was because there was the assumption they would have children to support. Yeah, so let's just stick to supporting the children. Fire Dragon says, ding, 60 minutes. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The bell has rung. The hour is over. I thank you all for being here, being part of this fun little fellowship. Get out there. Do your best. Be your best. Be principled. Be focused. Spend time in the Word. Spend time with your family. Spend time on your knees. And just try better today. Try better every day. I'll see you guys later. What's going on tonight? What am I streaming? Oh, by the way, trading cards, obviously, still available. LoneStarComic.com. If you want to support this ministry, just join the channel. Just join the channel. There's a join button right there. You can join for $2, $5, or $10 a month. Your call. Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Love you, and see you later. I don't know what's going on later.